students, welcome back. Before we continue with the next sum of quadratic equation word problems, I just want to tell you something that see, you need to be very sincere to yourself. If you're not going to copy the notes and do the homework regularly, you will have a lot of problems later. And those problems ka solution, I am not going to do anything because it is beyond me or it is going to be beyond your parents. So you will only suffer. So you have to be sincere and it is not a lot of work that is given to you. Usually you would have got up at 6:30, gone to school, and from 8 to 3 you would have been in school, and after that from 4 onwards some tuition or the other would start, and you would have been busy right up to 11 in the evening. Let's say 8:30 till you have tuitions and then you go home, do your homework and sleep. So you have a lot of time, even if you're sitting for 3 hours or 4 hours with the school online tutoring, all those things. Before that or after that, you have to take out 3-4 hours a day to do this. And even if you do 1 to 2 hours of project work at night just before going to sleep, there is plenty of time. If you are not going to be sincere with yourself, no one can help you. If many of you will have ambitions that you want to do engineering, you want to do medicine, but nothing is possible without being sincere. So what homework is given, you have to attempt, and if you are not getting, I have told you that you have to send the photo of your attempt so that let me at least see where you are going wrong. Quadratic equation, the not word problem, second sum, I know that many students wouldn't have got it. But then whatever you tried, whatever you wrote, A is equal to what, something you would have written, send the photo of that. At least if one student sends that, then I will be able to solve that sum and send it to all. It is only one student from the Gopal Sharma batch who had sent me, so I sent it to the other batches. In fact, I expected at least one person from each batch to ask. The 9th standard students are doing that more sincerely. I can see them asking doubts and sending the photo of their solutions. Why aren't you doing it? You too also need to do it. And anyway, I will be giving you a schedule of tests. Now I am no astrologer to predict when the lockdown will end. I will give you 3 schedules. So you should be aware that the test will be happening. It may start on 11th of May, it may start on 25th of May, or it may start on 1st or 2nd of June. Whenever the lockdown ends, we will have all social distancing norms. That means we will not have more than 6 or 7 students to write the test in a classroom, and we will take the test. So don't tell that you weren't aware that there is a test or there would be test as soon as class starts. The portion and all that I will send it to you on the WhatsApp group. And the tentative dates also I will send it. So please learn all this regularly. Usually by the end of the vacation, that means by end of May, we generally complete at least around 13 to 14 chapters of maths, which we will do this time also. Besides, I am in the process of completing refraction of light. We will finish sound, and at least the remaining 2 topics of light, that is lens and spectrum, we will finish by May 30th. So also the other teachers will do the same amount of portion, whatever they usually do in the vacation in bio and chemistry. So be regular. Maybe your online school work may be till May 30th, April 30th. After that they may not do it because they have vacation. So, but we will continue and be sincere and be regular. If there is any homework doubt which you can't do, just solve whatever you can and send the photo. I will send the answer. In class also, it is not that I run around checking everyone's homework. It is just I randomly check 3-4 people's book, whether they have done it. And then you ask me the doubts and I solve it on the board. That is what we have been doing. Even in banking and all, when we were in class, that's exactly what I did on the board. Not that everyone's book was checked. So now we go on to the next sum of quadratic equation. That is question number 11 of classwork on page 168. Now I am not going in sequence, but I am going to do all the distance, speed and time sums. Those sums based on this formula, speed is distance upon time. Now why is this formula used? Because in maths you will not get any sums based on equations of motion and acceleration. All the sums that come will be based on the basic assumption that your boat or your car or your train, everything is moving at constant speed. So we will be using the formula speed is distance upon time. Now in this particular sum number 11, they have given that a boat is going downstream and the boat is going upstream, and the distance is 36 kilometer. That means it goes 36 kilometer downstream and then goes back 36 kilometer upstream in a total of 8 hours. So that is significant data that is given. Downstream 36 kilometer, upstream 36 kilometer. It goes and covers that entire 72 kilometers in 8 hours. Now when you go downstream and upstream, is the boat going to go with the same speed? No. Downstream, the river's flow will assist the boat. So you will have to add the speed of the river to the speed of the boat. And when the boat is going upstream, it is going against the water. So first of all, the boat has to be faster than the stream, and the net speed of the boat will be speed of boat minus speed of stream. So that is something that you have to keep in mind. When you go downstream, the total speed is speed of boat plus speed of stream, and when you go upstream, the speed of the boat net speed will be speed of boat minus speed of stream. And boat has to be faster than stream, otherwise it will never be able to go upstream. The boat will be pushed down. If the boat is just standing, it is going to be pushed down. The boat speed has to be more than the speed of the stream, only then it will go upstream. So that is what is written here, that 12 km per hour is given as the boat speed of boat in still water. If there was no stream, that means if there was no flow of water, then the boat speed would have been 12 km per hour. And we are assuming that the speed of the river current is x kilometer per hour. Speed of river current is x, and speed of boat in still water is 12 km per hour. So when the boat is going downstream, the speed of boat will be actually 12 plus x, and when the boat is going upstream, speed of boat will be 12 minus x. And remember, speed upstream is 12 minus x. You can't write it as x minus 12. You will not get the answer. X cannot be more than 12. X has to be less than 12. So you know that your answer has to come less than 12 km per hour. I explained. If the boat is not faster than the stream will push the boat down. It will never be able to go upstream. So now using this, that the speed downstream is 12 plus x km per hour and speed upstream is 12 minus x km per hour, we are going to frame an equation. Because we know the total time is 8 hours, we will say that the time taken by the boat to go downstream plus the time taken for the boat to go upstream is the total time, that is 8 hours. So the distance, time is what? Distance, if you write time ka formula, it is distance upon speed. So time is distance, and here because it is downstream, we are taking the speed downstream. And second is upstream, so distance upon speed upstream. The total is, time is given 8 hours. So 36 km is the distance when it is going down. Speed is 12 plus x when it is going down. When it is going up also 36 km is the distance and speed is 12 minus x. That adds up to 8. So this is your main equation. If it's a 4-mark sum, you get 2 marks if you write this equation. The rest is for the calculations and working. So now when you cross multiply, this is the equation. This denominator is a plus b, a minus b. So it will become a squared minus b squared. So it becomes 144 minus x squared, that is multiplied by 8. But I am not practically multiplying it by 8 because here's 864, I am going to divide it by 8 and I get it as 108. So 108 x squared, you will get it as 36. So x will be plus minus 6. But the speed of the boat cannot be negative. So speed of stream is 6 km per hour. So now we got the answer as 6. We had firstly told and predicted that the stream cannot have speed more than boat. Boat ka speed was 12 km per hour. Speed of stream is 6 km per hour. That is why it can go upstream. Had this answer been more than 12, that would have been wrong, because then the boat can't go upstream. That's the basic logic. And the basic formula is speed is distance upon time. Here, since you knew the total time, we wrote time taken to go downstream plus time taken to go upstream is total time, which is 8 hours. And we substituted 12 plus x for downstream speed and 12 minus x for upstream speed and did the calculation. So that's the final answer for sum number 11. Now we will continue with distance, speed and time sums. There are some 5 sums based on distance, speed and time. Only then we will go to the 12th sum. All classwork sums itself, but I will write the correct number so that we do the same type of sums first and get that out. So now we go on to 13th sum, because I told you we will do all distance, time, speed sums first. So yes, we will come back to the 12th sum later. So now you are given 2 types of trains are mentioned in this sum. You are told about an express train, which is basically a fast train, and a passenger train, which is a slow train. So obviously, passenger train, because it is slow, it will take more time. It will have less speed. An express train is the faster train, so it will take less time to cover the distance. Now, so the small low, see, usually I take x and x plus 20 plus I take. You can also take that the express train is x and passenger train is x minus 20. Perfectly right. There is no harm, you will get the same answer. But I would prefer always to take the positive sign. So that is why I take it as let the speed of the passenger train, which is the slower train, be x km per hour. Therefore, speed of the express train, that is the fast train, is x plus 20 km per hour. This is all basic logic. You don't have to mug up. You just try and understand. I have written here, express is fast, so it will take less time. Passenger is slow, so it will take more time. So passenger train is having a slow speed of x km per hour. Express train is having a greater speed. It is having x plus 20 km per hour. And the distance between the two stations, Mumbai and Manmad, is 240 kilometers. So that is what is given. Now, you are given one more thing, that the difference in time is 2 hours. That means the passenger train, which is slow, is going to take 2 hours more than the express train. So that's why I have written the expression, this is the main expression, that the time taken by passenger train, which is slow, minus the time taken by express train, which is fast, is 2 hours. You can't write it ulta, because if you write it ulta, you are telling that the express train is going to take more time, which is wrong. The passenger train is slow, so it is going to take more time. So the more time minus less time will give you the difference in time. In this case, it is 2 hours. So time taken by the slower or passenger train minus time taken by express train is 2 hours. These are logic-based sums. See, some people just try to mug it up and throw something in the exam. They go wrong usually. Once you have understood it, it cannot go wrong. And believe me, most of your entrance exams, everything after 12th also, has some amount of questions which are based on this basic logic. They want to test whether you know basic maths. So that's the reason. So what is time? Time is distance upon speed. The distance in both cases is 240 km Mumbai to Manmad. That is given. Speed of passenger train we have taken, that is the slow train, so x kilometer per hour. And speed of express train is x plus 20. So we are substituting those very same values. 240 upon x minus 240 upon x plus 20 is 2. So here you can't write it the reverse way. The more time what takes minus the less time train will be the difference in time, which is 2 hours, not the other way around. So when you simplify, you get it as x squared plus 20x minus 2400 is 0. So you need a plus 20, and on multiplication you need minus 2400. It is 60 plus 60 and minus 40. So that when you add it, it is plus 20, and when you multiply it, it is minus 2400. So that is how you split it. If you can't split it, at that moment you don't think and you can't split, you will have to use the formula. It will take a little more time, but then you can use the quadratic problem formula and find what are the solutions. But this is easy. Then pair the first two terms and the third and the fourth term. We get x is minus 60 and x is 40. Now speed cannot be negative. So speed of passenger train, which is the slow train, is 40 km per hour, and speed of express train, which is the faster train, express train, is x plus 20, that is 60 km per hour. So please copy all this and write all this, including all the steps. You are expected to show all the steps in your exam. Up to here you will get 2 marks, and the remaining 2 marks out of the 4 mark sum would be for the rest of the solution, and 1 mark for those answers. So we go to the next one. Question number 19. Again a question based on speed is equal to distance upon time. So now there are two cases given. One is a car is moving on road and a train is moving on the rail. Now distance by road is given 216 km, and even though it is the same two cities A and B, the distance by train, because the rail route is different, that is given 208 km. So the distances are different in this case, it is not the same. Speed of car is less, it is x km per hour, and train speed is more, it is x plus 16 km per hour. The speeds are also given, that x and x plus 16. In this particular sum, you are given that car speed is x. So now if something is given, then you can't write there x and here x minus 16. You will be given wrong, because if the question says car speed is to be taken as x, you have to take that as x. Now time is distance upon speed. So when you are taking the car, time taken by car is the distance by road upon the car speed. So distance by road is 216 km, and car speed is x km per hour. So because this is time, I have written 216 upon x r. Here this is asked as write the first expression for time taken by car in terms of hours. So that is the first answer. This answer will get you 1 mark. Then second, they have asked you time taken by train. So in case of time taken by train, it is the distance by rail, that is 208 km, and the speed of the train, which is x plus 16 km per hour. So 208 upon x plus 16 hour, that is answer 2. This will give you another 1 more mark. So 1 mark, 1 mark. Then you have to frame the expression. You are given that the difference in time is 2 hours. Car is slower, so it is going to take more time, and train is faster, so it is going to take less time. So time taken by car minus time taken by train is 2 hours. If you write it reverse, 0. Your sum ends there, because you have to write the one which takes more time minus the one which takes less time is plus 2. So please be careful when you are writing this step and substituting the values. Cross multiplication gives you, after solving, 2x squared plus 24x minus 3456 is equal to 0. So all these numbers are divisible by 2. So x squared plus 12x minus 1728 equal to 0. Not very simple to directly think of it mentally and split. You can definitely use the quadratic formula and use that x is minus b plus minus root of b squared minus 4ac upon 2a and solve, or you can find the square roots of all the factors of 1728 and then try a permutation combination which gives you 12x on addition. To get 12x, I had combined all this. This is 4 3s are 12 into 3 is 36, and I had combined the unmarked parts, that is, this is 16 into 3, that is 48. So I got plus 48x minus 36x. When you add it, you get 12x. So we substituted took two terms, and when you solve it, you get x is 36 or x is minus 48. Now x is what? It is the speed of the car. So speed cannot be negative. So x is 36 km per hour, the positive value, that is the car speed. In this question, they have only asked you to solve for x. So you just have to find the value of x and write the proper unit, that is 36 km per hour. You need not find the train speed because it is not asked. So copy this sum. We will go to the next sum. It is based on distance, speed and time. So now the next sum based on speed, distance and time. So you are given the car has an initial speed or original speed of x kilometer per hour, and it is given that if you increase the speed of the car by 10 km per hour, so new speed is x plus 10 km per hour, then in covering the distance of 72 km, the car will take 36 minutes less. So now here the speeds are in kilometer per hour. The difference in time is given in minutes, so that cannot be done that way. You have to convert the minutes to hour. So you have to divide by 60 because 1 hour is 60 minutes. So it becomes 6 upon 10 or 3 upon 5 hour. So now you have the original time when it was traveling slow minus the new time when it was traveling fast. The speed increased, so less time. So more time minus less time, original time minus new time is this difference of 3 by 5 of an hour. 36 minutes. If you don't convert to hour, your sum ends there. So you have to write distance upon the original speed, which was slow, so more time, minus distance upon new speed, which is more, 10 kilometers per hour speed is increased. So the difference is 3 by 5. So when you cross multiply and solve, here you get 720. I have cross multiplied 720 into 5 upon 3. And this goes on the other side, so x squared plus x. So this is 1200 is x squared plus 10x. So I write 0 here and shift the 1200 on the other side. So it became minus 1200. So when you split, it is 40x and 30x. When you multiply, you should get 1200 with minus sign, and when you add, it should be 10x. So now when you split, you get the answers as x is 30 or x is minus 40. Now x is what? It is the original speed. The original speed of a car cannot be negative. So the original speed is 30 km per hour. That is the positive answer. This is the final answer. Yeah, now this is the last sum based on distance, speed and time. In the 23rd sum, you are given that the original speed or the uniform speed of the bus is x kilometer per hour. Then it is given that due to rain, the new speed is 10 kilometer per hour less. So it will be x minus 10 kilometer per hour. So to cover the distance of 240 kilometer, the difference in time is given as 2 hours. So naturally, first it was going fast at x kilometer per hour, so it took less time. When it started to rain, it slowed down, so this is more time. So this you have to use minus this, of course, in terms of the time. That difference is equal to 2 hours. So new time at a slower speed, this is the bigger number, minus the original time at a faster speed. When you travel faster, you take less time. So the lesser number. So the bigger number minus the lesser number is 2 hours. Now you can't write speed minus speed is equal to time. You have to write time minus time is equal to 2 hours because this is hours. So what is time? It is distance upon speed. So this is the slower speed. So when it started to rain, that speed, which is x minus 10. Distance in both cases is the same, 240 kilometer. And this is the distance 240 kilometer. And this is the original speed, which was x. The original speed was x. So 240 upon x, that is 2. So now when you cross multiply, you will get 240x minus 240x minus 10. That is, the denominator will become x squared minus 10x is 2. When you simplify, you will get x squared minus 10x minus 1200 is 0. The middle term you can split as minus 40x and plus 30x. So that adds up to minus 10x and that multiplies to minus 1200. So when you pair, you will get x into x minus 40 plus 30 into x minus 40 is 0. So x minus 40 and x plus 30 is 0. So you will get x cannot be negative because finally it is a speed. So the original uniform speed was x is 40 kilometer per hour. Now this is the last sum of distance, speed and time. Now I will do one classwork sum of age. And after that, there is only one classwork sum of age. After that, I will give you your homework, which will be based on distance, speed and time and age sums. So next sum will be an age related sum. This is age related sum now. There is only one classwork sum and a couple of homework sums based on age. It is the same method. So in this sum, you are given two different things. A relation between a son and his father's age 2 years ago, and another equation that gives the relation between the son's and the father's age after 3 years. So we are assuming let the son's present age be x. This is question 17. So let son's present age be x. We are not taking 2 years ago as x or something like that. You can do that, but it is better to take the present age as x because they have asked you finally what is the present age of the son and the man. So son's present age is x. So 2 years ago, how old would have been the son? X minus 2. You can't write 2 minus x, you have to minus 2 from x. If he was 10-year-old today, then 2 years ago he would have been 10 minus 2, that is 8 years. So it is x minus 2. And it is given that 2 years ago, a man's age was 3 times the square of the son's age. Square of the son's age 2 years ago. 2 years ago, son's age was x minus 2, so square of that and into 3. So 3 into, when you open the bracket, x squared minus 4x. This term you should not forget. Plus 4, expansion, a minus b the whole squared, a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Minus 2ab term is also there, that's why minus 4x. So when you open the bracket, 3x squared minus 12x plus 12. That is man's age, and this is all what? 2 years ago. This is what you are taking 2 years ago. That's the first relation and that's the first equation. Man's age 2 years ago in terms of son's present age x you have written. But of course when you took this is Son's age 2 years ago, which was x minus 2. Now in 3 years means from today 3 years later. Sometimes it is given 3 years hence. In 3 years or 3 years hence, son's age will be how much? X plus 3. Today is x. So after 3 years he will be x plus 3. And that times man's age, it is given in the question in the book that the man's age will be 4 times the son's age. So man's age will be 4 times, at that time the son is how much? X plus 3. So 4 times x plus 3, which is 4x plus 12. So that is the second equation. Now you have today, 2 years ago, and after 3 years. What is the difference between after 3 years and 2 years ago? This is 3 years and this is 2 years, so the difference is 5. So we are making an expression that man's age 3 years hence means after today, 3 years hence, let's say 2023, and man's age 2 years ago, 2018, is 5 years. The difference in his age, this is 5 years. So this is the expression that you have to write. This is the logic. Man's age 3 years hence means, let's say 2020 is this year, so in 2023 minus man's age 2 years ago, that means 2018, the difference is 5 years. So that 5, even though all that is not mentioned in the question, you have to form the expression this way. The question has given this and this relation, so based on that we have got man's age 2 years ago, man's age 3 years hence. So you have to remember that this is the expression that you frame. Then you substitute the value. Why didn't I take son's age 2 years ago and son's age 3 years hence? If I was to take this minus this is equal to 5, there will be no quadratic equation which I can split. I will get everything cancelling out on both the sides. So you will not get any solution. You have to form a quadratic equation, which is the name of the chapter. So from that, when I substitute 4x plus 12 minus, now this is important, so put the bracket, because this is not one term, it is 3 terms. So minus 3x squared, minus of minus will become plus 12x, minus 12 is 5. When you solve it, the expression becomes 3x squared minus 16x plus 5 is equal to 0. I have shifted it there. So this is 16x, so it becomes minus 16x, and 5 is positive on the other side. So when you split it, it is minus 15 minus 1. When you add, you should get minus 16, and when you multiply, you should get 15x squared. So when you solve, you get x is 5 or x is 1 by 3. Now both are positive answers, but we cannot take x is 1 by 3. 1 by 3 means what? The child is 4 months old. Then 2 years ago the child wouldn't have been there, he wouldn't have been born. So then how can you give a relation when the child does not exist? So you cannot use 1 by 3, so that's why you have to write the reason. Son's present age cannot be 1 by 3 years, because 2 years ago the son would not have been born. So x has to be 5 years, that is the son's present age. You are also asked man's present age. What is this? This is man's age 3 years from now. So this is 4 into 5, that is 20 plus 12, 32. From this 32 you have to minus 3, because you are asked not what is his age after 3 years in 2023. You are asked what is his present age. So you have to minus that 3, so you get 29 years as the man's present age. Now I will give you the next frame, that is the homework, and with sums to refer when you are doing the homework. Homework will also be based on distance, speed and time and age related sums. There may be 1 or 2 general sums other than that. So you do the homework, and as usual, if you are not getting a particular answer, then only that particular question's photo you take and send it in the group. I will solve after looking where you're going wrong. I'll give you the homework in the next frame. So this is your homework for next Tuesday, that is 21st of April. There are just 5 sums. I have written this particular homework sum with sum to refer in classwork. It's quite identical in some places. I've given you a hint also, like 30 minutes you have to convert to hour. Now in this homework sum number 15 also, what is the steps and how to frame the equation, that I have written. Of course statements have to be written, like capital R is the bigger radius and small r is the smaller radius. Then page 172, homework question number 23, even that I have shown you the hint. And last is page 172, homework question 24. These are exactly based on the distance, time, age and simple sums based on normal common sense logic. So please do the sums and be honest with yourself and do the homework. And what you don't get, you show your attempt, send the photo in the group. So I will reply back.